I got to go to a real-life Pokemon auction here in London at Baldwin's Auction House, and it was the first time I have ever been to an in-real-life auction, which was pretty cool. So as soon as you went in, they actually had some modern Pokemon packs for sale. They had some Japanese, they had some 151, and they even had the new Charizard collection boxes, which are pretty expensive, but I kind of get it because it's got the acrylic holder in it. Anyway, they then had the wall that featured some of the cards that were actually going to be in the auction, and there was a lot. There was Gold Stars, there was a whole bunch of Charizards, as you can see, evolutions, celebrations there. They had some first edition base, they had some plushies, they even had the Lugia, that incredible Battle Festa that I love in a PSA 10, the Moonbryon, obviously, I feel like everywhere's got the Moonbryon these days, and they also had Mario and Luigi. It was actually the full set graded, which was pretty cool to see, and they had a lot of Champions Festival and Worlds promos. Then it was time to go upstairs to the preview room, and this is where we got to see up close some of the other items they had up for grabs on the auction. There were a lot of master sets on this auction. As you can see here, I got to have a little look at one of the Skyridge sets that they had. Polytoad for the butler right there. So these sets were being auctioned off as a whole, and this had everything: the holos, non-holos, the reverses, and then obviously the really juicy stuff was hidden right at the back, and you might be able to guess what it is with Skyridge: the crystals. So first off, it was the reverse holo crystals. You can see Ho-Oh, Golem, Kabutops, and obviously Charizard, and then the holo crystals. The Charizard, obviously one of the iconic cards from the set. I really love the Celebi and Ho-Oh as well, so it was really cool to be able to see that up close. It's been a while since I've seen a full Skyridge set. There were 4th print base boxes. There were actually 2 of them available, and then they had a range of loose booster packs as well. As you can see, some first edition Gym right here, and there were a few others. Now, I'm not a huge Magic fan, I don't know much about it, but we did get to see these are artist proof cards. So the back of these cards are actually blank. I will show them. There we go, as you can see, and they had a whole selection of these. So again, just something I'm probably don't know if I'm ever going to see again in person, let alone hold in person. So I wanted to capture that for anyone who's a fan of Magic. Thought that was pretty cool to see, all of them graded by CGC. They also had a legendary collection set. Oh my god, I really want to box break this set again. Such a cool set. They had first edition French base set, got a little cute Chansey right there. So they had, I don't know, I think I'd say like maybe nearly 20 master sets, and you'll get to see a few in a moment. Like I said, I've never been to an in-person auction before, and actually getting to go in there and see the items in person is kind of a different experience from the other auctions I've watched or participated in before, where you really just see it online. You don't get to have a real close-up at a lot of the items in person. Lovely Giovanni's Persian right there, and a lot of these were really nice condition. Love that Rockets Mewtwo, one of my favorite cards from that set. Got the Holo Blaine, Giovanni, Rocket Zapdos there, and then they had first edition Team Rocket, paying a little bit of homage to the upcoming first ed Team Rocket box break we have here on the channel, which I'm super excited about. Now, this box was pretty cool because I actually once owned it, and here it was again in person. Was not expecting to see it. A whole real random mix of packs in that, all from the WotC area. Even has some Japanese. They even had first edition Neo Discovery. Shout out Polytoad for the butler again. Unfortunately, I couldn't just buy the Polytoads for the butler. It was the whole set, or it was nothing. Then they had the Umbreon there. Oh, what a beautiful card. The original Moonbryon. So pretty in person. I actually got to do a Japanese Neo Discovery bake as well pretty recently. They also had, on top of the graded Mario Luigi cards that you saw a little bit earlier, they had the sealed boxes as well. Obviously, these are really popular. I don't see anyone ever really losing interest in them. And then this absolute grail here, the number 2 trainer from the Japanese Pokemon World the Pokemon World Championships held in Japan earlier this year. It got a PSA 10, and it actually has Toad's name on the card. It's the first time PSA have done something like that, where they have recognized the winner of the card and put their name on the slab. Caught a couple of YouTubers in the wild there having a little explore, and then there was some raw cards available. So not 1 Shadowless Charizard, not 2 Shadowless Charizards, not 3 Shadowless Charizards, but 4 Shadowless Zards, and that was just like the icing on top of the cake. There were gold stars in here. As you can see, we got the Trico and the Gyarados as well. I mean, there was so much stuff in this auction. It was insane. Found a Shining Raichu. Absolutely love Neo Destiny. Hoping to be able to open that box again one day. Shadowless Blastoise as well. And then also Birthday Pikachu. So after we'd had a little look at all of the items in the preview room, we then got to have a little explore of the room that the auction was actually going to be held in. As you can see, got the view of central London in the back there, and even got to catch Tord himself playing some TCG before the auction started, which was a pretty cool experience to see. I then checked out some of the other memorabilia that was just in the auction room itself. So this auction house has all sorts of items available. They even have some really crazy expensive stamps. I think one of them's worth like 8 million or something wild. Honestly, if you put it in front of me, it wouldn't even be able to tell what it is. But they had some really cool Disney items in here. And then I mean, I didn't know a lot of what I was looking at, but I just wanted to capture it to see what they had. But as you can see, they got the Stanley Gibbons little stamp box right there, which is kind of what they're famous for, the stamp starter pack. And obviously they got some Pokemon stuff as well, Baldwins, that were auctioning off on the Saturday that we went to see it in person. So this was the whole room. No one was in here just yet. We were just waiting for it to fill up and waiting to get ready for the auction to take place. So while it was taking place, I couldn't really film too much, but I was able to capture a little bit. I didn't want to be standing in the middle of the room with my camera out, but as you can see, some of the lots there up for sale. Like I said, they had the first edition trio right there. I think it was PSA 4, all of them, and it went on for quite a few hours actually, but it was a really fun evening, and I actually want to be able to go to more of these in person, because it's a completely different feel than just sitting online and watching it all happen. Actually being there and seeing a lot of the items in person makes a real big difference, I think. So got to watch the actual auction take place, sit in the main room while that was happening. Might have picked up a shiny Mewtwo for someone. Neo Destiny PSA 9, such a nice card. Got to pick up all the items at the end once people had bought them and then paid for them. And then, if you know, you know, Nicole opened up this booster pack, and honestly, there was a bit of a miscommunication, thinking there might be 6 cards in the pack, but actually there only ended up, I'll let it play out. I won't spoil it. Drum roll, please. There only ended up being 1. But Nicole, thank you for the content. We had a great time.